Hi students, welcome to today's section. I hope all of you are safe and happy. In the previous class, we discussed about the concept of the spherical shape of the earth put forward by Thales, Pythagoras, Aristotle, Aryabhatta, Magellan, Copernicus, and Isaac Newton. Then, the unique shape of the earth is called geoid and the size of the earth. So let's continue the chapter. Have you ever thought about your position on the earth? Your answer may be in Asia, in India, in Kerala, and so on. There are exact locations for each and every feature or place on the earth. It is determined on the basis of certain measurements. So let's see how can we find out the position of a thing or region on this spherical and extensive earth. Can you see the figure of the ball? How can you describe the location of the picture pasted on it? Your answer may be like this: at the top, at the bottom, in the middle, along the edge. So students, none of the above answers are correct as the shape of the ball is spherical. Then how can we determine the exact location? Now, shall we try drawing vertical and horizontal lines on the ball? The location of any region on the earth can be determined based on such lines. Let us see how. Now, can you see the vertical and horizontal lines marked on the globe? The vertical lines are called longitudes and horizontal lines are called latitudes. Such lines shown on the globes and maps are imaginary lines. Latitudes. Latitude is the angular distance to any point on the surface of the earth from the center. By joining the same angular distances, we get the lines of latitudes. Imagine there is a straight pole passing through the center of the earth. This imaginary line is the axis of the earth. The earth rotates on this tilted axis. Now, observe this globe. We can see that the size of the circles decrease with their position away from the center. The latitudinal line along the middle of the globe is the longest one. This line of latitude is called the equator. The angular measurement of the equator is 0 degree. The latitudes at 90 degree north and 90 degrees south of the equator are circles. These points are known as the north and south poles respectively. All the other lines of latitudes are circles drawn parallel to the equator. The equator passes through the middle of the earth and divides the earth into two equal hemispheres. Hemisphere to the north of the equator is known as northern hemisphere. Latitudes in the northern hemisphere are called north latitudes. Hemisphere to the south of the equator is known as southern hemisphere. The latitudes in the southern hemisphere are called south latitudes. The biggest circle of latitude is the equator. The other important lines of latitudes are Tropic of Cancer at 23.5 degree north, Tropic of Capricorn at 23.5 degrees south, 66.5 degree north, Arctic Circle, 66.5 degrees south, Antarctic Circle, 90 degree north, North Pole, and 90 degrees south, South Pole. So, students, today we discussed about latitudes and the important lines of latitudes. That's all for today. We'll meet you in the next class with a continuation of this chapter. Thank you.